Geobyte.
Hi students, welcome to the GeoByte Diploma series. In this video, let us discuss some more problems. This is the first problem or eighth problem. In this video, first problem. This kind of problem is very important. More frequently, this kind of problems are asking in the board examination. Let us read the problem. The following results are obtained from a tensile test on a MS specimen. MS means mild steel specimen. Diameter of the specimen 16 mm. Gauge length of the specimen 80 mm. Extension at a load of 75 kilonewtons is 0.15 mm. Load at yield point 90 kilonewtons. Maximum load 130 kilonewtons. Length at the fracture 106 mm. Diameter of the neck is 9.8 mm. Calculate A. Young's modulus, B. Ultimate stress, C. Working stress with a factor of safety 3, percentage elongation and percentage reduction in area. This is the problem. Now first bit is Young's modulus. Now let us go for the solution. Solution. So solution. What? Let us take the solution part. Solution. First bit is Young's modulus. Young's modulus. Young's modulus. You know Young's modulus capital E delta L equal to PL by AE. From this, the Young's modulus capital A equal to PL by A into delta L. First, let us find the area. Area of the cross section A equal to pi by 4 into D square. Pi by 4 into the diameter given is 16 mm. 16 square. This value is around 201.06 201.06 millimeter square. Then the Young's modulus E equal to load. Load you have to take load at change in length. Load at change in length. So 75 kilonewtons is the load causing for extension of 0.15. Therefore, that is the load causing for change in length. 75 into 10 raised to 3 into length. L is the original length. It is given as gauge length. Gauge length of the specimen 80 mm. So it is into 80 divided by area of cross section 201.06 multiplied by change in length. So at that 75 kilonewtons, change in length is 0.15 mm into 0.15 mm. You simplify this value for getting the delta L change in length, Young's modulus, not change in length, Young's modulus 2 into 10 raised to 5 approximately Newton per mm square. That is the value of Young's modulus. The second part of the problem, ultimate stress. So ultimate stress equal to ultimate load by area of cross section. Ultimate load is the maximum load. Ultimate load is the maximum load. So maximum load is maximum load 130. Maximum load 130 and area already got it 201.06. So ultimate stress is equal to, it may be written as sigma suffix u equal to maximum load ratio between the maximum load and area of cross section. Maximum load means ultimate load. Ultimate load or maximum load is 130 kilonewtons. So it is 130 into 10 raised to 3 because it is given in kilonewtons divided by area of cross section. It is 201.06. The resultant value is 646.56 Newton per millimeter square. That is the ultimate stress. Now CBT is working stress. Working stress equal to what? The ratio between the, or factor of safety. Factor of safety equal to ratio between the ultimate stress and working stress. From that you can find the working stress. So CBT is CBIT working stress. Working stress can also be called as permeable stress, that may be written as sigma is equal to, factor of safety equal to ultimate stress by working stress. From that working stress equal to ultimate stress divided by factor of safety. So working stress equal to ultimate stress divided by factor of safety. Here ultimate stress is 646.56. Factor of safety is given 3. The resultant value is the resultant value is 215.52 unit is Newton per mm square. 215.52 Newton per mm square. That is the working stress. Now come to the percentage elongation and percentage reduction. D. Percentage elongation is equal to the final length change in length by original length equal to final length minus initial length divided by initial length into 100. Here final length is length at the fracture. Length at the fracture is given 106 mm. Gauge length is 80 mm. So initial length, this is the initial length and this is the final length. So 106 minus 80, 106 minus 80 divided by 80 into 100. That is the formula. The resultant value is around 32.5%. The last bit is percentage reduction in area. Percentage reduction in area. Percentage reduction in area equal to initial area minus final area divided by initial area into 100. Here initial area pi by 4 into initial diameter square minus pi by 4 into neck diameter d suffix n whole square divided by initial diameter pi by 4 into square of the initial diameter. pi by 4 is cancelled. It is d square minus neck diameter whole square divided by square of the original diameter into 100 for getting it in percentage. Here look at the original diameter. The original diameter of the body, diameter of the specimen is original diameter 16 mm. This is the initial diameter capital D. The diameter at the neck, this is the neck diameter DF. Neck diameter is 9.8 mm, original diameter 16 mm. So it is equal to 16 square minus 9.8 whole square divided by 16 square into 100. It is equal to 62.48. 62.48 percentage. That is how the problem can be solved. Let us take the one more problem. Look at the next problem. This problem is also very important. Is given like this. A circular bar shown in figure is subjected to a tensile load of 150 kilonewtons. What must be the diameter of the middle portion if the stress induced there is to be 215 Newton per mm square. So the stress developed at the middle portion is 215 Newton per mm square. Young's modulus E equal to 2.06 into 10 raised to 5. It might be printing with 10 raised to 5 Newton per mm square. Also find the total elongation. It is given that stress at the middle part, stress at middle portion, stress at middle portion equal to load at middle portion, load at middle portion, load at middle portion divided by area of cross section, area of cross section at the middle portion of middle portion. Here stress at middle portion is given 215. Look at the load. Since the load is given, the same load is given on both ends of the diagram. Therefore load at the middle portion is 150 into 10 power 3 divided by area at the middle portion A2. Now the area at the middle portion equal to 150 into 10 raised to 3 divided by 215. Simplify this value for getting the area at the middle portion is 697.67 mm square. But area at the middle portion A2 equal to pi by 4 into D2 square. From this, the D2 equal to 4a by pi. This whole thing is under root. So you substitute those values. 4a equal to 697.67 whole thing divided by pi whole power 1 by 2. Simplify this value for getting the diameter at the middle portion is 29.8 mm. Then the total elongation equal to sum of these elongations. Delta L1 plus delta L2 plus delta L3 is the total elongation. But look at the section 1 and section 3. Since the section 1 and section 3 both are maintaining same lengths and same diameters. Therefore, change in length in the section 1 is equal to change in length in the section 3. Then the total elongation can be written like this. Total elongation delta L equal to delta L1 plus delta L2 plus delta L3. But delta L3 and delta L1 both are equal. I can say that 2 delta L1 plus delta L2. It is equal to 2 into P1 L1 by A1 E1 plus P2 L2 by A2 E2. A2 already got it. A1 can be found like this. A1 equal to pi by 4 into D1 square. D1 square. The diameter for the section 1 is 50 mm. Of course, for the section 3 also 50 mm. So pi by 4 into 50 square. Pi by 4 into 50 square. The value is 1962.5 millimeter square. Now the total elongation equal to 2 into, of course, P1 is equal to P2 is equal to P3 equal to 150 into 10 raised to 3 newtons. So 150 into 10 raised to 3 divided by A1 1962.5 into E1 equal to E2 that is equal to E3 because only one Young's modulus is given. So that value is 2.06 into 10 raised 5 2.06 into 10 raised 5 Newton per mm square. So 2.06 into 10 raised 5 plus P2 also 150 into 10 raised 3 L2. Of course, okay, here I forgot to write the L1 value. Look at the L1 value. L1 value 45, L2 160. Here I should multiply with 40. This is 160 divided by A2. A2 you got is 1 minute. A2. So 697.67. 697.67 into Young's modulus 2.06 into 10 raised to 5. You simplify this value for getting the total elongation is 0.206 mm. That is the answer. Thank you very much. Right, look at the next problem. A bar of varying cross section is loaded as shown in figure. Determine total elongation when Young's modulus equal to Young's modulus E equal to 2 into 10 power 5 Newton per mm square. The section is given like this. Let us assume this is the section 1 because L1 D1 given for that section. This is the section 2. For section 2 diameter is 40 mm and the length is 600 mm. You are asked to find the total elongation. Total elongation equal to total elongation delta L equal to delta L1 plus delta L2. Delta L1 equal to P1 L1 by A1 E1. Let us take the section 1. The section 1 is looking like this. This is the section 1 of diameter D1 30 mm length L1 equal to 400 mm. The load at the left end is 80 kilonewtons. In the right end, at this end 40 plus other end also 40 plus 40 equal to, this is 140 and this is another 40, total is 80 kilonewtons. That means if one end is subjected to a load, the other end should be subjected to the same load. Therefore here P1 equal to 80 into 10 raised to 3 into L1 400 divided by A1 pi by 4 into D1 square 30 square multiplied by Young's modulus. Young's modulus is given 2 into 10 raised to 5. 2 into 10 raised to 5. You simplify this value for getting the delta L1 0.095 millimeters. Similarly, for section 2, for other section, the other section is 2, section 2, delta L2 equal to P2 L2 by A2 E2. Let us take the section 2. This is the section 2. For this section, the length is 600, diameter is 40. D2 40 mm, length L2 equal to 600 mm. The load which is acting at the right end is 40 kilonewton. Other end should be maintaining the same load, otherwise 80 kilonewton is acting in this direction and 40 kilonewton is acting in this direction. The resultant load is 40 kilonewtons. 40 kilonewton is acting towards right, because 80 minus 40 equal to 40. So it is equal to the delta L2 change in length for section 2 P2 is 40. Here P2 equal to 40 into 10 raised to 3 newtons. 10 raised to 3 newtons. L2 600 divided by A2 pi by 4 into D2 square. Here D2 is 40 mm. 40 square into E2 2 into 10 power 5. Simplify this value for getting 0.226 mm. Therefore 0.226 mm. Therefore total elongation delta L equal to delta L1 plus delta L2. Delta L1 is 0.095 plus 0.226. Simplify this value for getting 0.321 mm. That is the answer for the given problem. Now let us go for another problem. Yes, look at the next problem. This is quite different problem. This kind of problem is very important. Given like this, a member ABCD is subjected to point loads P1, P2, P3 and P4 shown in figure. Calculate the force P3 necessary for equilibrium if P1 120 kilonewtons, P2 220 kilonewtons, P4 160 kilonewtons. Determine also the net change in length of the member. Take Young's modulus is 2 into 10 raised to 5 Newton per mm square. The diagram is given like this. Dear students, look at the diagram. Assume this is the section 1, section 2 and section 3. For the section 1, A1, look at the A1, it is square cross section 40 into 40 mm square. Similarly, A2 equal to 25 into 25 mm square. A3 also equal to 30 into 30 mm square. The length for section 1 L1 equal to 0.75 meters equal to 750 mm. Length for section 2 is 1 meter 1000 mm. Length for section 3 L3 equal to 1.2 meters. It is 1200 mm. Look at the loads P1 given, P2 given, P4 given. P3 you are asked to find. Condition for equilibrium is sum of the leftward forces must be equal to rightward forces. Let us count the left forces. P1 and P3 both are acting towards left, whereas P2 and P4 are acting towards right. So P1 plus P3 must be equal to P2 plus P4. P1 plus P3 must be equal to P2 plus P4. P1 is given. Let us look the P1. P1 120, P2 220, P4 160. P1 equal to 120. P3 you are asked to find. P2 equal to 220 plus P4 given 160. From this the P3 value is, from that the P3 value 260 kilonewton. Simplify this value. That is the P3 value. Then let us find the change in length for each section. Let us take the section 1 first. Section 1. The section 1 is given. Let us look the section 1. This is the section 1. With respect to section 1, P1 is acting towards left. P2, P4 are acting towards right with respect to right hand, whereas P3 is acting towards right hand. Then P1 equal to, let us take the diagram. This is our section 1. P1 is given 120 kilonewtons. The other end load must be P1 only, that is 120 kilonewtons. Otherwise, P2 and P4 are acting in this direction, whereas P3 is acting in this direction. This P2 is 220, P4 is 160, whereas P3 you got it 260. Now let us combine it. 220 plus 160, 380. 380 minus 260, 120 kilonewtons. Anyhow, if you know the load at one end, the other end should be equal to the same value. Then change in length, delta L1 equal to P1 L1 by A1 E1. You substitute all values for getting the change in length 0.28 mm. Similarly, let us take the section 2. Section 2. The section 2 is like this. This is the section 2. With respect to section 2, let us count the forces. Let us take the right hand. With respect to right hand, P4 is acting away from the right hand, P3 is acting towards the right hand. Similarly, with respect to left end of the section 2, P1 is acting towards left, P2 is acting towards right. So P1, it is like this. P1 with respect to section 2 left end, P1 is acting in this direction, whereas P2 is acting in this direction. That P2 is 220 kilonewtons, P1 is 120. The resultant value is 220 minus 120, 100. That 100 should be in this particular direction. So this is 100 kilonewtons. Therefore, the other end should be with the same value 100 kilonewtons. That is the compressive load. Otherwise, P4 is acting in this direction, P3 is acting in this direction. Here P4 is 160 and P3 is 260 minus 160, 100, that should be towards the right end of the section 2. Therefore, with respect to section 2, the resultant load P2 dash, that P2 dash equal to 100 kilonewtons. And this is a compressive load. Then change in length for section 2, P2L2 by A2 E2. You put all the values for getting the change in length for section 2 is 0.8 mm. This is contraction. Whereas with respect to section 1, 0.28 mm is the elongation. Similarly, look at the section 3. Let us take the section 3, my dear students. So for the section 3, let us go back to the problem. This is the section 3. With respect to section 3, P4 is acting in one end of the diagram. P4 is acting like this. This is your section 3. This is P4. Right, according to given notations, P4 equal to 160 kilonewtons. The opposite end must be 160. So 160 kilonewtons. Therefore, the resultant load for P3 may be marked as, the resultant load for section 3 may be marked as P3 dash, that is 160 kilonewtons. For section 2 also we have written P2 dash. Now change in length for section 3, P3 dash L3 by A3 E3. You put all the values for getting 1.07. Since the load is acting away from the ends, so this is the change in length or positive change in length. I can say the elongation. Therefore, total change in length equal to delta L1 minus delta L2 plus delta L3, because the delta L1 and delta L2 both are positive extensions, whereas delta L2 is the negative extension, that is contraction. That's why I took the negative sign. Then the change in length for section 1, 0.28. For section 2, 0.8, that is negative, plus for section 3, 1.07. The resultant value is 0.55 mm. So that is the answer for this particular problem. I hope all of you understood. With this, for this concept, I am closing the problems. In the very next video, I will start the composite sections. Thank you very much.
Geobyte.